Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the new weekly meeting of the season pre-conference Porto 2020. We join one more week for Meet the Speakers. And this week we have as our special guests Philip Herd, that is with us for the second time, and Ruth Jacobi, who is a special guest from the European Music Council. It's an honor to have you with us.
Has Ruth arrived?
Yes?
Okay.
Okay, you just come from listen our project Fado for Strings. It's oriented by Artur Caldeira, that you know him already from last week. He is playing the guitar with her colleague Marina Pacheco on the voice, and we already record some strings. Of course, we miss a lot, but we are just give a go for you, to give you a kick to make your own video to join. We want to have 100 videos for this. Maybe we will go to the Guinness Book, like we did once with the viola orchestra in Porto. If you have any questions, keep it for Artur. In the end of our meeting today, you can make your questions or your suggestions about this project. Now, I would start with Phil. Hi, Phil. Are you there? Yes?
You need to put your sound on, Phil.
I am unmuted.
Yes, I listen you.
You can hear me?
Yes, I hear.
Right.
Yeah.
Good evening. Hi.
Right. Nice to meet you again, Phil. Well, you are here today to speak for us a little more about the postgraduate course organized by the ESTA UK. So the word is yours. So explain us what is this wonderful project.
Sure. I'd be delighted to. And can I just say, in the UK, Yehudi Menuhin always said that a meeting, wherever it be, should always start with music. So it was lovely to have that nice introduction. So bravo, lovely playing. So about 3 or 4 years ago, ESTA UK, after getting feedback from its members, decided that we would investigate putting a course together that was designed to fit around busy lives of teachers and diary commitments. But also the course would be accredited as well by a UK university. So it took a little while to work these things together, but we launched in 2017 with our first cohort of students, and it's an online course. It lasts for 12 months. Normally it starts in the summer, but now it's starting in September for obvious reasons. It's in 4 units, and each unit covers the following. It covers, one unit covers how we teach. A second unit covers how people learn. A third unit talks about techniques for teaching. And the fourth unit talks about developing a curriculum for teaching. So we're not teaching as if we're in a factory, one student after another, but we're actually taking a view on each individual student and fitting for their needs as precisely as we can. So that's the idea of the course. As I say, it's online. It's between 10 and 15 hours a week, but it's flexible. You're assigned a mentor who's a string specialist, and that mentor and other lecturers work in close harmony with you throughout the period of the course. You'll meet with your mentor once a week with Skype or Zoom, and that is entirely flexible as well, because bearing in mind we have students, teachers from all over the world, so we have to take into consideration time zones and things like that. It's a little bit of half academic, half real sort of practical basis for the course. So there is some writing, but really it's quite seriously focused on how we approach those sort of key subjects I mentioned earlier on. So it's a lot of discussion, a lot of working with the cohort. So you're not just working with your mentor. If you have a question, you'll ask all your cohort the same question, because it's an exchange of ideas. The course is at master's level, so which is level 7. I don't know if that means anything outside of the UK, but it's a master's level course. Once you've graduated, you're given 60 credits, and if you wish to gain the full master's, you can study for another year, again online and again part-time with the University of Chichester, and you'll get the full master's. And you can focus either on a master's in performance or in teaching. So you can choose at that point after you've passed the initial postgraduate certificate.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And how is going with the students? You are already in the 3rd year, is that?
Yes, it's our 3rd year of string students. Actually, last year we decided we've gone to so much trouble to get the accreditation from the university that we've also opened it up to other instruments now. So we actually took pianists this year as well.
Oh,
we're here just to talk about strings tonight. So so it's very successful. And we've had students currently from Canada, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Spain, Scotland, Wales, England, France, the Channel Islands, a real collection. And that's been quite...
Italy.
Sorry? On Italy, I mustn't forget Italy. Sorry, Jill. Yeah. And so... what's been good about that is that people can share ideas from such different sort of teaching backgrounds and contexts. So it's going very well.
Great. Is there any sessions together, or everything is online?
Well, originally, before this current pandemic, the course started with the summer school in Chichester. Which coincided with the Esther Summer School. So everybody was on the same campus. And that was the first module. And thereafter, modules 2, 3, and 4 were delivered online. But there would be webinars online and then one-to-one tuition with your mentor. Because of COVID now, we've shifted the course along by a couple of months. So we start in the middle of September. And then we're hoping that if everything works well, next summer will be the final module of the course, and that'll be face-to-face again on campus at Chichester. If things aren't resolved and it's still problematic to travel and engage face-to-face, then we are able to offer the whole course online. So luckily it was designed with either option. Yeah,
it's compatible with COVID. Yeah.
Yes, well, a lucky coincidence.
You spoke about pianist in your course. I know there is also EPTA, European Piano Teacher Association. Is that EPTA UK also so active like ESTA UK? Do you make things together?
We're good friends with EPTA. In fact, their president is, or their their chair of council, is one of our mentors on the PGC course. They're about similar in size to us, actually, about the same number of members. Yeah, with the same level of activity. We've got quite a lot of good connections that John Shaler and I have built up over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, great. Well, for everybody that is hear us or watching us on YouTube, I have to say that Phil is here with us because he would be an exhibitor in the Porto 2020 conference, and because he has a showcase, he is here to explain us what he has to offer, and it's a good opportunity to expose the interesting things for the community of string teachers of Europe. So if you are, or if you want to be an exhibitor, just speak to us, write us, and we will find a very good place for you and give the opportunity to meet all of us and to show all your products or service or courses, whatever. And now is the time to say that we, in these conditions, difficult conditions, we still have some support from the sponsors, and Tomastic and Pirastro is still with us. So thank you very much, Tomastic and Pirastro, for being our sponsors. I would like to go to Ruth, but I don't know if she's there. Maybe she has some problem to arrive to the meeting.
She's not here yet. Maybe Mark
No.
can.
Mark is there, yeah? Hi, Mark.
Microphone, George.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I can try to call her, but I don't know. I have a number from the EMC, but I don't know if it will be connected to her personal cell phone. Do you have her private number?
Well, we had email contact, and she said she will arrive.
And she is
But
aware
maybe
from she's aware from the time difference.
Well, I don't know.
I hope so. But she also wrote me an email that she would be here, so it's very strange.
So, yeah.
Yes, go on. In the meantime, I try to.
I'll speak a little about the father then. George asked me to speak a little bit about getting everybody on board. As you can see, we had a little play around with the parts this week, and it's awfully unbalanced. We've got one first violin, one second violin, about 1,000 violas, and one cello. So, and if you notice, the violas were perfectly together, beautifully synchronized. But we need some help. We need to fill it out a little bit. It took up about 1/100th of the screen, and there's all those little squares that have got to be filled up yet. So we think it would be an excellent idea if you all spoke to your members and everybody you know, whether they're members of ESTA or not. I don't think this needs to be exclusive to ESTA members. And pass the email around, and let's see how many people we can get on the screen. It's a beautiful arrangement. It's extremely simple to put together. Accompanying Artur on the guitar, and you just need to listen to the upbeat. And he gives the upbeat, and then you come in, and then it's stable until the last 3 or 4 bars. And again, at the last 3 or 4 bars, you just listen to him. The main problem is the pizzicatos, as you can probably tell if you listen to the recording again, because I think we're all being a little too musical with them. But I think if we have 100 of us, it won't really matter anymore. So you need to help us cover the pizzicato disaster.
Hazel, pizzicatos can be polyrhythmic.
Oh, and they are. We vary free expressively with that cadence, seriously. So don't listen too carefully to that, but send in your version and it'll cancel out our attempts. It's really very easy to do. All of us did it in about half an hour. The parts aren't difficult, and it will sound amazing when it's full of strings.
How do we get hold of the notes, Hazel?
They're all on our website.
Okay.
I think you received an email about it. If you go,
Sure I did.
if you go onto the website, there are all the separate parts plus the score, if that helps you work out where to come in. But you've got 3 quaver upbeats in the guitar, and then we come in, play a little phrase, and then there's 7 bars rest where everybody can go, oh, and then it runs. It runs very easily. You listen to it a couple of times. The link is on YouTube. So if you accompany the YouTube connection, and you just play with the singer, but basically listening to our tour, that's the easiest thing to do. All the parts are online. Spread it around as far as you can, please. Italy, UK, everywhere.
Hazel, I'll write to our membership on Tuesday, and we'll ask them to do it as their little project for the week. So we'll get those sent to you.
Well, students, we threw it together to give you guys an idea of what it sounds like. But
S2K's already had its little excitement doing the first movement of Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
I know.
So our members are, how shall I say, they're conditioned to being able to do this and face this challenge.
It's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. We've done quite a few, and this is the easiest one I've done so far. So not complicated.
Thank you. Thank you for starting with the easy one. Always best to start with grade 1 and move upwards, isn't it?
Verklärte Nacht next week.
Absolutely. Or yeah, why not?
The Fado version of Verklärte Nacht.
Possibly serenade in there as well. Why not? A little bit of Bartok.
George made a challenge to go to the Guinness Book, but if we can't go to the Guinness Book, maybe you can go to the Guinness Beer. Quite the same.
For that, we have to
Excellent idea.
It's also European.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, we are still waiting for Ruth. Anyway, maybe I have good news, is that concerts are starting in Portugal. Casa da Música will start the concerts next month, just beginning in the beginning of June. I will have a concert with my quartet, 9 June. I'm so happy and anxious for go on stage. Of course, we will stay at a distance, and of course, the audience will be like 1/3 or maybe less. But it's a start, and it's good to know that there are still people that want to listen music and people that want to play.
We win, George. We have a concert on the 6th of June.
Yeah, so you are before us. Yeah, great. With the orchestra.
Yeah.
With the orchestra.
Emilio and I aren't playing in it, but actually that's the first orchestra concert. We'll be missing from the meeting the week after that because we'll be in a concert at the time. Yeah.
So things are going quite better now in Portugal, and people start to try to do some things, of course, with all the security issues. But we start to feel is safe to be on the street, because everybody is doing what they should do, and everybody is taking care about the others. This is an important time to think about the others and about respect, social respect. I don't know if you have something to share about that in your countries. So once we have more time, maybe we can speak more, and maybe you have more questions.
Agnes and John.
Yeah, in Germany we are starting the face-to-face lessons in the music school. But there's so much. There's so much to notice. We are not allowed to touch the music stand. We are not allowed to tune the violins. And for my person, I really wonder if it's better to do it on online, because it's so much, it's so heavy to do all these regulations.
Well, needless to say, in the UK, we're nowhere near getting anywhere. Our government has made a complete mess of this. And we're now at the top of the list. Hurrah! Britain's first. We have more deaths than any other country in Europe per unit of population. We've overtaken Italy, Spain, and Belgium. So hurrah for our wonderful government, who are talking about success, incidentally. So we really, I think I speak for Phil as well, we really envy you guys who live in countries where they know what they're doing.
Well, in Portugal, we were lucky because it arrives very late. Yeah.
And we saw it in Spain and panicked.
It arrived late here.
Well, it was the same time, yeah.
We had plenty of warning in this country,
Yeah,
because of what happened in Italy. And the government decided that it wasn't going to happen to us because we're British, of course. We're not the sort of people that are likely to get ill from a virus, are we?
So the orchestras are not working at all at the moment, and there are no plans. I can't see anything coming back until October, November at the earliest, really. And then it'll be, as you described, George, where it'll be a sort of quarter or a third of the audience if that goes ahead.
And social distancing in the orchestra as well. I've seen some interesting pictures of orchestras who are together and trying to stay at the 2 meters or 1.5 meters distance.
Well, we'll let you know.
Yeah, possible.
We'll let you know. I think we're going to have an altered program. I personally don't think we'll be going back to our normal programming even in September. But you know, there is a will to get started in some way, and we're doing smaller programs with smaller sections. The fine details we don't know yet, but they're working on it, and we have faith in our the direction of the concert hall. We're on top of it. Our commission up, you know, I can't think of the word. They're watching what's happening, and we're being consulted. So I think everybody's just really willing to work and get some sense of normality. So we're not on full time. The orchestra's getting split into smaller groups, which is why the first week back, Emilia and I aren't working, and then we'll be working together in a 4-piece section the week after. So we're all going to be working 1 week off, 2 weeks or something like that, but it's something. And no teaching until September. I think, George, you've started teaching, haven't you?
Yes, I was in ESMAI. We decide that we will teach face to face the finalists, the students that are preparing the final recital. So as I have 4 students that are preparing his graduation, I'm allowed to go there. Of course, in a big room with big distance, with all these issues that Agnes already said. But it's nice to listen to viola without the delay of the internet. It's really, yes, it is. I was emocionado, how to say in English.
Emotional. Yeah, he texted us, I'm teaching.
Well, I was just checking that we are a very interesting group today. I see maybe all members of Central Board are there. Hi, Bruno. Hi, Christian, John, Mark. Nice to have you here. Maybe we could have a little courage and speak about the conference in September. we decide that we will say something in June. We are near to June, and we all are thinking that maybe it will be impossible to make it in Porto, because there are problems with the planes, problem with the halls, with all this. So what do you think about that?
Well,
Yeah.
So do you think then of still more postponing? September is impossible, if I understand you right. And do you think of a conference in some other year then, that ESTA Portugal could come back? We are thinking of 2024, for instance.
Maybe it's one solution, but to do a different conference, not this one. Yeah?
Yes, I can understand it. Because
I think this one, if we don't do, I think we should do something online.
yes, because you are doing well. This is a good start with these Zoom meetings, and that will be great, because we all know that you invested enormously lot of work and time to prepare all of this, and it would be a pity if we would lose all this brilliant information. So yes, it would be a good idea to make something great of an online conference.
Yeah, and our speakers, they are ready to do it. They are ready to speak or to make a video with a full presentation, or to make a streaming like we do now.
Yes.
But when we speak about online conference, we also need to speak about the schedule, because a normal conference, we go there 5 days and we stay from morning to evening to listen to everybody. But if you make online conference, you are at home. Mm-hmm. You are not moving somewhere to do only one thing. So maybe we were thinking that maybe not to do in 5 days or in 4 days, but to do in 2 weeks.
Yes, good idea.
Maybe some time a day, or I don't know if you have ideas. We are thinking, but every help it's.
And I guess good. Everything will be recorded and can be watched later on also, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So actually the members have the opportunity to watch it and to learn something out of it. But how about membership and so on? Will it be open for everyone? Is there a fee? What did you think about that?
We have already think about the fee, because some members decide to give up, so they ask the money back. And we said there is a fee for online. If you want, you can keep this registration, and you can follow our meetings and our videos, and you can join the online conference. So yes. I think it was something about, I'm not sure now, maybe my colleagues can help, but something about 60 or something, really cheap price. 60.
Yes.
That's
so
quite reasonable.
What?
That's reasonable, and that could be very successful. I think that would be a good solution.
Yes, because of course, if we make online, we have also not so much things to spend. Of course, we need to spend in the online things, because we need to find a good software that only members can go in, and to keep the videos is not easy. We need to learn about that still.
Sure.
We are improving with these meetings. Are already rehearsals for that.
Yes.
And I think maybe we can do something. Maybe not the best one, but the first one.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe more people will join, like online registration, because it's really cheap, and I think it will be interesting.
And did you already speak about it with the sponsors? Are they also interested? Because I think in this way they can reach a lot of people, actually.
Pirastro and Tomastic, they are there with us for that.
Yeah,
already, and they know already how much it is, and of course they don't give so much money, but
we've arranged a price for online with them, and they're on board. I'm still trying to find solutions for exhibitor hall and advertising partners. which is the advertising not so much, but the exhibitors hall. It's difficult to have an online experience, but we're looking into it. But the sponsors are definitely on board, but again with a different investment.
Yes, that's understandable.
Mhm.
Mhm.
If it's any help, ESTA UK have had to cancel our summer school this year for the usual reasons, and we're having an online 3-day mini summer school, which we're calling Resilience. Actually, Phil can probably talk about this better than I can, but we're looking at this whole thing about charging, about people paying for individual sessions or whole days or the whole conference and so on. Phil, do you want to just have a word about that?
Yes, I'm just picking up on that. It's exactly what you say, George. You can't have the exact same experience because people don't want to sit in front of a screen for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, no.
So what we've done with our 3-day conference, it starts in the morning with some Feldenkrais, and then it's just 2 or 3 sessions finishing at lunchtime for those 3 mornings. The night before, the evening before the course, we're having a little tech party. So people are encouraged to bring a glass of wine and learn how to use Zoom and be comfortable with everything, so they're ready for the following morning. And
I'm getting into that.
Pretty good. John's already
final,
rehearsing.
yes,
They say practice makes perfect.
So on the final evening, we're having a folk fiddle evening and a quiz. So just to make that a bit of fun at the end. So
Sheila quiz.
A Sheila quiz. They're famous or infamous.
They are.
So yeah, and we've kept the cost right down for that. And as Mark says, we're going to record everything, so you can book by session or book for the whole thing and dip into it whenever it suits.
And what about exhibitors and publicity and all that sort of thing? Have you come up with any ideas for that?
No, do you know what? We've not spoken to sponsors about this. We've put it on ourselves. The only thing we have is there'll be a retailer, because of course the presenters will give sort of copious notes at the end of the sessions, and there'll be recommended reading and music. And one of our sponsors will take orders for that. But other than that, no, we're just making it sort of small and compact.
Yeah.
I think with sponsors, I mean, you guys are doing an excellent job, and really, in many ways, Tomastic and Parastro are getting more value this way. They're getting more. Their branding's more on the radar leading up to September, and whenever the conference takes place, there'll be quite a legacy from it, because of course you'll have recorded everything. I think actually that's got real value for years to come. So I think they're onto a good thing, which is lovely, because they've supported you, and I think they're going to get a lot out of it.
Yes, I think normally for a conference you can reach about 200 persons who come to the place, but now perhaps you can have 500 or even more. Actually, there is the limit is quite less than in a natural situation. Of course, it's a pity. Everyone knows that a live contact is the best we can have to teach and to meet each other. But I think perhaps it could be a good publicity for ESTA also, if we try to disseminate this idea of an online conference. Perhaps more people will get involved, and that could then be a good sign for the conference of next year. Who knows?
I do think that whatever happens next year, and I know how important presential conferences are to ESTA, but I do think that maybe an element of this online experience should stay on some level, also before the sponsors, but to have all the content that is talked about in the conferences, to have it somewhere in an information bank, if you like, be it YouTube or Central Board or whatever, where it's available to the members. I think that transcends any 5-day or 4-day weekend. You can go to the lectures, you can go to the conference, but then you can revisit whenever you like. I think it's something that we can really gain from this bizarre experience, something very positive to take from it.
Heidi, want to talk?
Hello, everybody. Greetings from Helsinki.
Hi, Heidi.
I decided to say a word for that because I hope that we shall meet in person in Helsinki in 1 year. We have discussed with our ESTA Finnish board about the mixture, that there is a chance also for sickness or for other reason that you are not attending in person to conference. So you have a chance to choose different kinds of speakers or lectures or workshops or something, not all, but some of them. So that was our idea to suggest to you that is there any chance to have in the next year already in the first place the mixture of online and live in person, because and probably I don't know about we have in 2 weeks our board is meeting distance meets for budgets. And of course, this kind of online budget, as I just jumped in, there was some person talking about exactly this, that the sponsor money is not that big. You don't need that much money if you have this online possibility. What do you say, Mark or John, or this kind of idea?
I think it's an excellent idea. And I'm sure even without coronavirus, that our conferences would have moved in this direction anyway.
Exactly.
And it's lovely to see Portugal and Finland looking to the future like this. It's really, really excellent news. And I think the sponsors will love it. I mean, it's not the whole point, we know that, but it's a very good.
And also as the persons, as the members are going to love it, because they have a chance, as this lady was telling that there's a chance to probably look it after also. You can see it in your time.
Yes.
Not in that time from 2 to 3 and 4:30 when the lecture is on, and then it's gone.
Of course, it's a fact that many conferences are already recorded and you can watch them afterwards. But it's not really done in the ESTA context. So that would also certainly be a good idea for us to make a kind of mixture of both.
Thank you, Mark, because my question exactly was this in the first place, that is there any fee needed for those people who are not flying, who are not staying in a hotel, who are not in person there, but would like to join to some sections? Is there any fee needed for that? What does ESTA rules say about that kind of idea?
Well, this is a new situation. We don't have rules for that yet. But if you hear the Portuguese board
next week,
yes, we will have a Skype meeting on Tuesday so we can discuss this. But if you hear the proposal of George for 60 euros, I think that's quite reasonable. And you could also do something in that style, I think. But we will discuss that, Heidi. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're a membership organisation, so our members should have the first access to whatever happens.
Of course.
And that indicates possibly that they pay a small fee and get access by various codes, which I don't understand.
We have.
You don't have to. Don't worry about it.
We have a different price also online. Yes, we have different price for members or non-members.
Thank you.
Like the normal registration.
Thank you, George. That's an idea.
We
have
thought
to
about
discuss about it.
we thought about reduced price also for, but as it's so reasonable, 60 euros, we thought maybe we let like this, but we are still in time to decide because it's not published anywhere. We did just for the people, few people. We have to know we have more than 100 participants and only 6 or 7 give up.
That's great.
Good for you.
That's great. We
You
still have
might-
their money. We need to give them back.
And what do you think about that? It's like a concert. If the concert is free, the feeling is different. If the concert is 8 euros, it's the feeling is different. If the concert price is 135 euros, it's totally different feeling to go there. Yeah. So something, but
you
not
feel
too
more
much.
empty.
It might be worth thinking about reduced fees maybe for students.
Yeah,
Write it down.
that's a
Just,
good idea.
just saying.
Yeah. Well, we will speak more and more official about that. It was like a brainstorming direct on YouTube, so everybody can know what is ESTA. So if you are there and if you are watching us and you don't know what is ESTA, just Google it and register as a membership. We are waiting for you.
Thank you, George, for this publicity.
Well, I think it's the ending time of our meeting. I don't know if someone has one more question or something more to say. Nobody wants to ask Artur to play a little more?
I would like to ask something about the teaching that was said before about the master classes in internet, because I've been teaching all this time to my students of Cremona, and the system I found now is that they upload a YouTube video, and the YouTube quality of the sound is, I would say, is more than acceptable, is good. The problems comes when we have the lesson, when we listen to the YouTube together. I point out what they could change or do better, and then if they have to do practically something on the spot, the sound that comes out is really not only the delay, but also the sound quality is sometimes. Also, it depends very much on the medium that they have. If they do it and they have a very poor connection, is not easy. So I wanted to ask Phil if they found some better system than Zoom to do these online lessons, because that is the weak point of our of the issue.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, hello. Thanks, Bruno, to remind me. Last Friday, I had a school class performance of my complete class through Zoom, and I just recommend to my students to buy a very cheap. It's very cheap, just extender, and mostly they're using free Wi-Fi connection, so without cables, and this extender is extremely really enforce the signal. Mostly when some of pupils or students are living in houses with where several families, and when somebody is also on a Wi-Fi connection, he's targeting this signal, and with the extender it costs 20-30 euros, I think. It's really enhance the signal, and it was working quite well with the Zoom. And Zoom also has you probably know the option turn on original sound. So I would recommend this, not to filter the voice quality or the instrumental quality. So it will be my suggestion.
Okay, so that is the
Bye-bye.
extender. That is the extender of the Wi-Fi, because extender
Yes,
itself.
exactly.
Okay.
And it has to be in the same room as a computer. That's the point.
Uh-huh.
Mostly the walls of the houses are not from 16th centuries with a 1 meter or a meter and a half. That is also a problem. That could be a problem. And mostly it's working quite fluently. Not so as you mentioned.
Okay.
And Zoom is fine, better as a Skype or a...
Can I help you say something about that?
Yeah.
In the internet, you have always a problem. Not so the latency, the delay, the latency of the signal, but also the compression and limiting of the sound. If you try to play so piano, the other side doesn't hear you. And if you try to play so forte with 3Fs, in the other side, I don't listen 3Fs, you know, because there's a compression of audio in internet always.
Mm-hmm.
What Christian said is, I think it's the signal repeater that amplifies the signal of the Wi-Fi. For example, if you live in a 2 floors apartment or house, if you have the router in 1 floor, and if you are in the other, the signal is very low. So this signal repeater, he only gives you more signal in Wi-Fi, but the compression is always there. So the quality of sound doesn't improve. In fact, the cable, if you have the possibility of work with cable, it's nice because the Wi-Fi always cut the signal.
Yes.
It's not so strong that in the cable, but always the streaming is compressed, nothing to do. There are an application, but it's not cheap, and you need a very strong computer called Jam Kazam. Jam Kazam with K. And this program, with this program, it's possible play with not zero latency, but almost zero latency. You can also make rehearsals, quite indirect, but it's not cheap. It's paid and not cheap. And you need a very hard computer. It doesn't work good in a normal PC. And if you work with 3, 4, 5 streamings in at the same time with 5 people, for example, it's harder. So you need a very, 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 very strong computer. So I think there's nothing really good in internet.
Yeah, if I could say that audio doesn't actually take a huge deal of amount of bandwidth like video does, and because all these Skypes and Zooms and all the rest of it were designed for talking, not for playing, so that's why the compression is there. So it's a software issue, not a hardware issue, essentially.
Yes, of course.
However, there are 3 or 4. There's a race on at the moment amongst several software companies to try and produce conferencing systems that have high definition sound to go with the high definition imagery. There are a few that have got as far as they're in beta testing, and we've tried 1 or 2 of them. And if it helps, Bruno, if the central board are meeting next Tuesday, I'll have a chat with a couple of our people to share the companies that we know are offering beta testing platforms, so you can all have a go. They look the interface is very clunky, but the sound is much improved. But I think I was having a chat with a colleague the other day. We think 18 months from now, something like that, it'll be pretty mainstream to have decent, high quality audio.
Two ones. I tried Apasio, and I tried another one from Italy, I think. And they have always something, because I like to have the class lesson. And with Zoom, I can have the class lesson as we are having now, because I don't like to have just one, because there's one which is called Apasio, where you have only this one-to-one, and you can have some listeners, but the listeners are completely cut off. They can just listen, but they cannot participate, and that for my class does not seem to work. So we try to lower the amount of signal for the video in order to concentrate it more on the audio, but still they did not bring very much. So I really look forward to something that will help us in that direction, and I will be very, very grateful if when you know something, you should just let us know.
Sure.
Thank you.
The race is on. There are
The race is
companies
on,
out there.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, the ideal thing doesn't exist yet, I think. But every time I am teaching, I try everything. And sometimes some little things help, well, not for ideal, but for a little more, for better. It's just to change the device. Sometimes students are calling with the computer, but if they try with the phone, it's better. Sometimes the opposite. So this helps a lot. And for me, I already said in a past meeting, I think, I have a kind of imagination translator. And in the beginning of the lesson, I listened to the recording, which is good. And after, with this, I listen with what I will listen after with the video, like I can imagine if it's going good or not. And I can make, and I already tried to give advices, and after asked to record again, and it was better. So I think this mental translator can help a lot if you arrive on that. But it's you really need a very big imagination.
Yes, but sometimes, George, sometimes your imagination is better than the students. So when you have to do something that the student has to do something radically better, still it has to be done by the student, not by our imagination. So
Yes, but you can say it's you can see the problem more easy. You see, or faster bow, or less bow, or more near the bridge, or
yes.
this you can, but you need the translator. Otherwise, you make mistakes. Before I did a lot of mistakes because I say make like this, and it was not the problem because I just was listening wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know it's artistic profession to teach like this. We are making hard. Yeah.
Yes. Fine.
Yeah. Well, we need to wait. Maybe these times are giving ideas for the technicians to give us more things.
We wait for Phil to give us advice.
Yeah.
Okay, Phil.
Welcome to Finland. Welcome to Finland. We'll see. We'll see. But what Bruno said about this YouTube private links for more advanced students, that's the best. You can see clearly, you can hear clearly, you can probably give some advice text, and then they read it and try again, and then in 5 minutes you have another video. But live, anything. You have you are Bruno. You have wonderful students playing viola. I have little students playing violin. So
yes. Yes.
It's not that easy.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I have to leave.
Yes, it's time to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye
Thank
to
you.
everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thank you all for being with us in this
Thank
meeting.
you. Bye, George.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Pirastro and Tomastik, again.
And don't send your videos.
What? What? Ah,
Let's
yes.
send
Yes.
videos.
Record. Play Fado, please.
Play Fado.
Okay, see you next week to meet more presenters, and we promise one of these meetings we will speak about Porto wine.
Cool.
Maybe you will have some and you can taste it at the same time. Bye bye. Stay with our video. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Adeu.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Song, Emilia. Dar-me a triste cor de